The Smell of Starving Boys. It's set in the Old West, but not our Old West. It's an Old West in an alternative dimension. There are vampires, supernatural cross-dressing cowboys, gay Irish dandies, horse whisperers, and a misogynist, half-naked homosexual sociopath. It's an alternative universe that will remind you of steampunk, but isn't steampunk. When it starts off, you think it's going to be an LGBT story with gay cowboys eating pudding on Brokeback Mountain. There's a gay Irish photographer who's on some secret mission with sinister overturns. There was an actual misogynist, not a Tumblr one, who walks around with his willy hanging out for some reason. It's hinted at that he is also gay. He envisions a perfect world would be one with fewer women. It's a world where ghosts, vampires, and other supernatural events are possible. Kind of reminds me of that novel, Darwin's Radio, by Gregory Bear, where aliens want to take over the Earth, so they infect the men with a virus that causes them to kill women. Anyway, they're somewhere in the West, and the artist really sells the setting. I've been in places exactly like what he is drawing. He includes the trickster coyote and the watchful owl. For some reason, he left out the rattlesnakes and scorpions, but he may have felt it was too cliché. But trust me, the desert is full of rattlers. The half-naked misogynist is having the Irish photographer document the Indians and horses and shoot landscape scenes. They have what you assume is a teenage boy keep camp for them. But it's sort of unclear who they are taking pictures for or to what use they will put them. It feels slightly sinister. The gay Irish photographer is on the run from the law. He was taking ghost photographs in the city in some kind of con that was popular back then, but it's unclear why he was scared of the police when he was so far away. The Irishman was running a scam where he took fake ghost photos of people's loved ones, part of the seance scams that were popular in the late 1800s, but apparently he does have some connection to the spirit world. The story doesn't explain everything, and that works really well. There's an Indian following them around who has a connection to the same spirits involved with the Irishman, and the spirits are showing up in some of the photos they are taking. There is a zombie Boba Fett, who they think is after the Irishman, but is actually after the cowboy, who turns out to be a cowgirl. The gay Irishman is lusting after the young cowboy, but when he finds out it's a girl, hooks up with her anyway. I guess much to the chagrin of SJWs, the gay Irishman turned out to be bisexual, like the late, great Freddie Mercury. Believe it or not, this is actually a bone of contention within the SJW LGBT community. The zombie Boba Fett is eating the Indians' horses, so the Indians try to nefariously dispatch our plucky trio, only to have the cowgirl pull some horse whisperer magic and scare them away. The writer creates tension between the three lead characters, including a sexual tension with elements of sadomasochism and gender bending. The book is degenerate, perverted, and a lot of fun. It's sexual, but not graphically so. It's difficult for a writer to decide how many sex scenes to include in a book. If you include more than 2 graphic, explicit scenes, you kind of get put in a certain category. It's hard to straddle that middle ground between being a fiction writer and being an adult fiction writer. The writer here manages to slip her way between the whirlpool and the squirming anima tentacles very well. It's a fun story with perfect art for the story it's trying to tell. Plus, I kind of get the feeling that the Puritans on the far right and the far left will find it Boko Haram, and that pleases me. Take a look at some of these scenes. If you like sci-fi and steampunk with BDSM overtones and phallic rocks, you'll like this book. It's pretty wild, but it doesn't really have any sci-fi or any steampunk, and it's not graphic or explicit. It's all just kind of suggested and very, very weird. I'll put the link in the description.